The day starts early in June, very early. The codfish have come to the land. The trap season is on.
If there's any fish or anything on the go, I don't even have to put the time alarm. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for the time to come to go all the trap. That timepiece up upstairs, that don't have an alarm for me to get up. I put her the alarm, but she don't get the chance to alarm. I'm looking at her 3 and 4 and 5 times, waiting for the time to get up. No problem with getting up. Especially getting any fish, I don't hardly get any sleep. It's time to get up when you go to bed. Day usually starts around 3:30, 3:45. My brother Rich, that's who fishes with me. Rich got a truck there and he picks me up around 4:15 like that, and then we meet over on the wharf, and then from that we goes on. And can go from that to 2 o'clock in the morning. So you're talking about 18, 20, sometimes 22 hours or 24, and that's a lot of hours. So you know, with hours like that, you got to make a few dollars.
This is Lord's Cove, a small inshore fishing settlement at the foot of the Bjorn Peninsula. And this is Peter Hennebury. Peter, 3 of his brothers, and 2 friends make up one of the half-dozen trap crews in Lord's Cove. Only a short steam from the harbor are the grounds where their traps are set. It's a rough spot for wind and tide. Every haul is an adventure. But this is their best time of year, and there's no lack of enthusiasm in this crew.
Well, I was all excited for the starting of the trap season, getting ready and everything else, and a lot depends on the trap season, whether you're going to make a few dollars or not. If it was a good trap season, you can turn in a lot of money in a short period of time. If you can make a quick $4,000 or $5,000, well, you know, that's a big boost in 4 or 5 weeks.
You give him the hold, that Al. Just put your knee on it. Just here, look, one body got your hand. That's it. You're expecting to get any deep when you go in, you got work. We didn't even bother to haul here this morning. Must be someone on the other end there hauling down.
That's the devil on there, boy.
Oh, God.
All the fish you got.
Yeah.
89,000 pounds of fish, isn't it?
I get no 8 or 9,000 here and that with tide going like this. Come over here, get one. This wasn't made for human beings, I'll tell you this much. Oh. Come on. Come on. Come there, boy. Hold it. You keep there hauling there. Keep a bear tight, Gable. Haul the balloon in the water. Come on, you know. Ah. Go on, man. Got the toy.
Got her bag again.
Just give her a quick shoot ahead, El. All right, El. Let's go up here. Haul it in. Probably gonna get the gear. Sorry, don't long there with the trap. That's what I'm telling you. You can't do nothing with you can't haul. Now this is where the fun comes.
Go around there, boy.
Go back that corner. Back that corner now. It's not a haul. This is a mile.
Is this a good spot?
It's a good spot, but you can't do. This is a hard place to do anything with tide. Awful place for tide. You could come here 2 or 3 days in a row when you get home. Come out yesterday morning, never even seen a keg or nothing landing.
Everything's down underwater.
Yeah, you could 5 minutes. You could come, you could home.
It's a good spot for fish, though.
It's a good spot for fish.
Is it a rough spot? Is it pretty bouncy here?
It's rough. But here's something, you don't even have to change your shorts. Here's the change for you.
The fish are small. Trapfish usually are on this part of the coast, but they're also plentiful. Last summer, that combination meant big trouble. The fish plants didn't want the small fish. One day, Peter caught close to 27,000 pounds, but could only sell 9,000. The rest had to be dumped. This year, the plants won't take anything under 18 inches. But this year, there's another buyer. A Russian factory ship, anchored 9 miles down the shore in Lawn. The Russians are buying over the side, and they're buying everything.
18-inch fish, there, boy. There's the column board. There's what column board last year, 16-inch fish. That's it, boy. The Russian will buy that. That's a 15-inch fish.
15 and a half.
15 and a half now. There's an 18. There's an 18.
That's what the panel on.
There's the two. Quite a bit of difference. You know,
When that Russian ship was there, you had to dump lots.
dump most of it. Dump it all. That's the best part of it.
When you had this here, Ross chipping on it.
What did you do last year? You got a lot of fish this size last year.
Yeah, well, it throws it all away.
16, there was 16 last year.
Times in large Cove last year, 4 or 5 foot of fish on the beach.
What would happen if you didn't have that
Boat.
that Russian boat?
I throw about 75% of that away.
Is that right? Eh?
More than that. Well, we can get enough fish now to hold her. That's all we're looking for. Please, God is good as opposed to a bit hitting in summer between this and Monday for the keeper there. We could get enough to keep her there. That's all we want. Please, God. A little bit of fish hitting to the land there this morning, but also, you know,
Things might get better.
might get better, please, God. Yes, but can't get no worse.
How do you keep at it?
Hey?
How do you keep at this racket?
Why'd I keep at it?
Yeah.
But what else is there to do, me son? I got no education. I got no education. Grade 5, 6, 7, or 8, whatever it is. I suppose I'll push through that. I was getting so old, I was growing a beard, so they had to put me somewhere.
Do you like it? I mean, there must be mornings you like it, though.
What?
There must be mornings you like this racket.
Like this?
Yeah.
I'll lose and die for this, me son. I'll lose and die for this.
It's a 9-mile run to Lawn and the Russian boat, but it's a trip nobody minds. They've got the best of both worlds. Sell the large fish to the plant back in Lord's Cove, sell the rest to the Russians. That boat saved the trap season.
I suppose all started with dumped so much small fish the year before last, and then the union got involved in it. And I suppose the union, that was the only alternative, was to try to get a boat here. But last year we should have had a boat here. You know, it was a way more fish caught last year than what was caught this year. But it was a much smaller fish, much smaller. Now most of the fish was over 15 inches, but the majority was between 15 and 16, 17 inches with small fish.
How much fish did the Russians need to keep them here, to keep that boat here?
But they were talking about now 40,000 a day in the last of it. 35 or 40,000 pound a day in order to keep her there.
What were the Russians like as people, just people to deal with?
They were perfect people as far as I'm concerned. They were exceptionally friendly, really friendly. I don't know what they were saying, but every time you come up they bowed and waved to you and sung out to you, but I don't know what. And changed hats with fellas and everything like that, you know. They wanted to be friendly, really friendly with you. And we were friendly with them. We'd give them salmon and everything else, so, and they appreciated stuff like that.
I suppose you got to know a few of them, or at least know just a nodding acquaintance.
Well, it was a couple of them really. One of the waymasters there, he was a real nice fellow, and he gave me a souvenir, a pin, and I exchanged, give him a pair of woolen socks, and we exchanged gifts, and he was, he seemed like they all wanted to be friendly. And it was this waymaster. I took to him, he gave me a picture of himself and everything else, and I give him a picture of me. I think they're all moving out of Russia now. I'm not sure. Really, I couldn't see no difference in them fellas and us, and they couldn't speak English. When it comes to, they're only down-to-earth people same as us. They're not colony shots. All the Russians are not bad, same as Newfoundlanders. They're all Newfoundlanders not bad.
Yeah. Thank you, Hill. Come on, boys, man.
The next time we caught up with Peter Hennebury, it was late September. The crew was down to 2, Peter and his brother Rich. They were fishing baited trawl. The fishing wasn't that good, and Peter laid part of the blame on the bait. They had to use mackerel because of the failure in the squid fishery.
Squid is the best bait. You get a lot more fish on that squid for some reason or another. Seems like it's only a certain time you take the mackerel. But if you had squid, it seems like you get fish all along on squid. Look at what is going on, Paul. It seems that the fish, you get it for 2 or 3 days on the mackerel, and then it slacks off for 2 or 3 days or 3 or 4 days, and then you get it on the mackerel again. The fish is not staying in one place either. The fish is going around everywhere.
It had been 3 months since we were out with Peter on the trap haul. I was anxious to know how he'd made out.
Paul, we had a pretty good trap season. For the means of the Russians coming here, we got clear of the small fish, and we did exceptionally good ourselves. The best year we had in a long time. We sold, I don't know, we got about 150,000, around a couple 100,000, I suppose, round fish. About 150,000 we sold to the boat and some to the plant, and that's what we got out of it. So a couple 100,000, not too bad, when other years we were only getting 60 and 70,000. So I think it's on the way back.
Peter and Rich like to fish trawl off St. Pierre, but this year they've hung around the grounds just off Lord's Cove.
Well, the trap season finished around the 20th of July, somewhere around, getting up towards the last of July. Last week in July we finished up, and then we went to the trawls. And we did pretty good on the trawls in the first, we were using a lot of gear, 40 and 50 lines, but you were hooking up a day's pay out of it. See, the bait, we were catching our own mackerel too then, and it didn't cost nothing for bait, but right now it's costing $16.50, $100 for the mackerel. Plus you got to hire someone to go up there and get it. It's another $5 or $6. And there's running in, you got to get fish on it now in order for to make it pay with the cost of fuel and the cost of bait.
But you got your trawl lines. Where you have your trawl set now is not where you usually have your trawl this time of year.
No, well, we try to, what we usually do is that we bait up and go off on the level. About, an hour steam or so, or an hour and 20 minutes, go off on the level. That's what we did all last year. But right now, the reason why I'm not going out there is because I was getting a lot of flounder. I was getting a lot of bycatch out there. If I've got 2,500 pounds, perhaps 1,000 or 1,100, it would be flounder. Sometimes you get more flounder than you would cod. That was the way she was going. So that's the reason why I don't want to catch something and tear it up. Next year, please God, we might be able to get clear of the flounder. Well, I can go back to that again. I know where it's at. So I usually hang around rough ground.
And how you been making out?
Well, it's almost the same as everywhere. The fish is spotty, but I had pretty good luck with it. I run into it most all the time. I usually get a couple, 3 days, very good days of the week, and then anything he makes after that, if he only gets 500 or 600 pound a day, you know, it adds up. If you can make $300 or so a week, well, you're not doing too bad. That's clear money. There's only 2 of us on the boat now, and if we can pay for the bait and the fuel and make $300 a man, well, God, that's very good, you know.
With the trap season long over and the Russians long gone, the Lord's Cove fishermen sell their fall catches to the community fish plant. Everyone's at the trawl or the jiggers, fishing from dories or the scattered big boat like Peter and Rich. The plant in Lord's Cove was built 5 years ago and leased to the Lake Group. But Lakes only ran it as a feeder plant, and it eventually closed down. Peter and the rest of the Fishermen's Committee had worked hard to get the plant built in Lord's Cove, and they wanted it open. This year, they succeeded. H.B. Daw Limited of Cupids took it over, and things went well. Peter is proud of his small plant, especially when so many big plants around the peninsula were closed down by strikes and other troubles.
It was around 1 million pounds of fish they're after putting through the plant as a salt fish operation it is. It was out there created around 30 jobs at the peak of the year, and they still got somewhere around 15 or 16 people employed there. It's a nice little operation and is run pretty smoothly. And we're pleased, and I think Mr. Daw and HB Daw is pleased too. So, you know, we want to please them. We want them to come back here again next year. So we're going overboard to try to do what they want done with the fish, you know.
And I suppose when you consider the problems that the plants around the rest of the peninsula have had, it's not a bad little business.
Well, Lord's Cove plant this year was taking fish from Pinegal, Lamoline, Point May, Fortune, Grand Bank, Frenchman's Cove, Garnish, and Grand Beach. It covers a nice little area. You're talking about parts of Fortune Bay and parts of Placentia Bay. It was was buying the fish from there. And Grand Bank was closed, Fortune was closed. It didn't seem like the Fisher Products in Marystown was interested in the shore fish so far as I know, because the fishermen in St. Lawrence were having trouble selling flounder to them, and then they couldn't get clear their cod to them. They had to sell it to Lawn. So when you consider that there's people going to be drawing unemployment insurance this year in this area of the peninsula that wouldn't be drawing it if the plant in Lord's Cove hadn't been there. And that's my feelings towards it.
And you're pretty proud of that plant.
Well, we put a lot of hard work into that, trying to get someone to come here and operate it, and we want to keep it operating.
A fresh wind and the late afternoon sun are perfect for cutting and drying hay. Feed for the few cows that Peter keeps for fresh meat in the winter, and for the horses that haul his firewood. This is a time for family, work, and fun for Peter, his wife Elfrida, and their 5 children. It's a way of life Peter wouldn't trade for the world. You'll have no trouble finding a wealthier man, but you'll have to look hard to find a happier one.
Well, it's like this. I tried to change it a dozen times, but it seems it's like it's something that's bred into you. I went away a couple of times and I spent more money in phone calls, phoning home, seeing how much fish my father and my brother was getting than I spent than I actually made. Most was going phone calls trying to get home. So it's something that's bred into you. It's like it's passed down from your father and your grandfather. So I think it's something that's passed down to you. Another thing, there's not too much else to do in a small place like this. There's no industry here. I mean, that little fish plant is only creating 25 or 30 jobs this year, and that's the first year that was open. So, you know, outside of fishing, when you're brought over in an outdoor community, you haven't got much else to turn to.
Sound like if there was something else to do, you might do it.
No, not me. I don't know. I can't speak for somebody else, but I think fishing is my cup of tea, as the saying goes. You know, I like what I'm doing. I'm my own boss, and I know we punch a lot of hours in, but in order to get anything out of this, you got to punch 18 to 20 hours a day out of it to get $1, to make $1.
People who might be watching this and say, I mean, all that work and all that effort, and you know, for what, $10,000, $12,000 a year if you're lucky. I mean, what's in it for somebody?
I don't know myself. There's a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. There's no one need never tell me that is that easy a job, and for the money you makes, you know, you're not getting nothing, because you could make $3,000, you could make 10, and that's what the average goes from 3 to 10 in this community. And if you're lucky, you'll make perhaps 10 or 12, and that's a lot of money. There's not too many years you make 10 or 12. Most of the years you're talking about $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000. Well, if you happen to be a trap fisherman and strike a good submarine trap, well, you could make $4,000 or $5,000 a year, and that's a big boost. If you got a few dollars before that gill netting or something, and a few dollars after that in the fall of the year, trawling and hand line and that, well, you got a chance of making perhaps $9,000 or $10,000 or $12,000. But outside of that, you got to make a few quick dollars in order to make anything out of it. And trapping is the only way you can make a few quick dollars.
But someone in the city now might say, $10,000, $12,000. How can somebody live on that?
Well, boy, it's like this, Paul. There's people living here with a lot less than $10,000, $12,000. But then most of the people are they're cutting their own wood. They got their own gardens. They got a few cows that they kill off in the fall of the year, and they put their own meat in the fridge. And if you're in a city, you goes to the supermarket and you drive up your cart and you pick out a roast and a roast of this, whatever's going to do you for the week, and you run up the cash register and that's $120 or $30 and press more. But see, there's none of that here. You got a 30-day credit system or a week credit system, whatever it is, and the meats, you haven't got to buy too much meat, you haven't got to buy too much potatoes, cabbage, turnips, carrot. You got that yourself. So if you want it, you got it. And if you don't, you know, you don't have to have it. But most people has their own little garden, just enough to do themselves. And that saves a lot of money.
I guess when it comes down to it, you're just happy doing what you're doing.
Well, I'm pretty happy doing what I'm doing. I'm not making any money, but I'm a lot happier here. I'm after been traveling quite a lot, and I know I lived in cities, but I was never contented there. Your mind is always at home. Even if you went in a small community nearer to a city, to a big city, you feel more at ease than you do with something like your own surroundings. But when you go to a city like Montreal or Toronto or something, your first impression is when you go there, you're frightened to death. You can't get sleep or anything else. Cars and sirens and everything going. And you look how peaceful it is here, sitting down in the mat. You think you're in heaven.